I'm standing at a site called Moulton King's Hall. It's been described as a possible Motte and Bailey castle, although set in a very flat landscape, very wide moat. It has a very unusual shape. I'm not 100% sure whether it is a motte. It has a sort of a ringwork look about it. It is absolutely massive in size, very flat, not very high. This side here is very straight. Although it's described as an oval moat, it's not really oval. It is very straight on one side. It's almost a triangular shape rather than a sort of a circular or an oval shape. But it is very big and not very tall. I mean, it was built around the end of the 1100s in East Anglia in the Fens. We're about a mile or two to the southeast of Spalding in Lincolnshire. And this area at that time would have been very wet. Obviously the fens around this area have all been drained in that time, but it is very wet in them days. This could have just been a natural island in the middle. This side I'm walking along now is the straight edge of it. As you can see, it's a very sharp turn on this corner. And that edge there is very straight. And you can see the full scale of the so-called motte itself. Very wet ditch or moat. There was believed to be a river that ran along from over there, which could have filled it. Considering this is the fens and this is flat land, as you can see all the way round, this is pretty high up for the area. That's the flat edge on that side. Spalding is just over there, where you can see that windmill. It was believed to have been begun by Lord de Moulton. I believe he died without a male heir, which probably led it to it being abandoned. It's believed to have had stonework on it. The church at Holbeach, which is should be just over that way, is believed to have got a couple of turrets on it, which may have come from here. These 4 posts here and the 4 posts there is a big hole in there, and that is a World War II bunker which was dug into here, where they found 13th century pottery when they went down. I believe you can go down if you're adventurous, and there is a bunker built into the middle almost. It's a lot like Swinestead Castle, which is get my bearings over in that direction towards Boston. But as you can see, it is a pretty big area for just a single motte. Kind of leads me to believe that it could have been a ringwork more than a motte itself. Although there's no necessary possible evidence of a bailey, that may have been ploughed out, as you can see by the fields around this area, the entranceway. Whether that's original or not, I'm not 100% sure. But you can see it is a very big site. I asked the farmer about the field, and he was very, very interested, very, very knowledgeable, and he knew quite a bit about it. They keep it, unlike some of these places, they keep this one clear, as you can see. They put ponies on it in the winter, and obviously they keep some of the weeds from getting in. There's no real evidence of a bailey anywhere on the outside, but that could have been ploughed away if there was such a thing. But it is a pretty flat and large motte, if that's what it was. It's almost like a little natural island in the middle of the fens that somebody's obviously come along and used to place their castle upon. With a very, very wet moat on the outside. I believe an archaeologist has a local girl, according to the farmer, has been here. This side it's the one that I'm talking about, that is very, very flat almost, or very straight. I mean, I don't think flat's the word. Very straight in its line. Probably try sticking a photo from Google Earth on here as well, just to show the very, very, very unusual shape of this place. Kind of weird being here today, 17th of October, considering the Battle of Hastings was only 3 days ago in 1066. Obviously you can see that very, very straight edge again, although the moat on that side is very, very wide. It could have been cut at some point. Somebody could have cut that end off and made it straight, rather than it as round as it was. But it certainly is higher than the land I'm standing on at the moment, so it would have offered some form of defence. But just walking around it again, you can see the scale of the place. If there's no evidence of an outside area, all of the living buildings and everything else would have had to have been on the inside. Be interesting one day if you got some dirty clothes on and a pair of welly boots and some torches, and you tried to go in the middle of that. Obviously this is Lincolnshire, and in the Second World War this was a heavily attacked area, so you can actually see that it's having a bunker or some sort of air raid, anti-tank, anti-aircraft guns or something around this area. You can see why they probably built into it. And now we're back at the entrance. Moulton King's Hall, worth a little visit out.